Got a letter from a man in deep. Said his house ain't a home and he's losing sleep. Wife cold as steel, vibe off track. Asked me how the hell to get his edge back.
What's going on, guys? I do not have an actual sponsored video for you today. No one actually sponsored a video this time. So I was like, you know what? Let's not be lazy. Let's actually put a video out anyway. And then maybe we can get some of you guys who actually want to sponsor a video to hop in here next time. If you guys want to sponsor a video, go to video.comeonmanpod.com. The link's in the description for that as well. But what I did do was I found a pretty interesting forum post on Reddit, and let me drop a link to that in the chat here for you guys that are watching live right now. I found this today. It was a young buck who's not even married, and he's in a dead bedroom forum asking for advice. And this you know kind of reminds me of one of my former 3% brothers. And he was a younger guy, and he was always running into the same problems with women. And a couple of, maybe a year ago, around this time, I happened to find him in a dead bedroom forum. And I was like, what is he doing in a dead bedroom forum? One, he's supposed to be a 3% brother. So that means like he should have read How to Be a 3% Man at least 10 to 15 times. There's no reason. If you've read How to Be a 3% Man 10 to 15 times, you will never end up in a dead bedroom, okay? I'll tell you that right now. So I'm like, why is this guy in this dead bedroom? And so I DM'd him. I was like, hey, man, what are you doing in this dead bedroom, man? He's like, oh, I got this long-distance relationship. And, and it's like, dude, it's not a dead bedroom situation. You have a glorified pen pal. That's your problem. Anyway, I talked him into getting into the wolf pack, and he got into the wolf pack, and he was originally in the wolf pack back when it was a beer club at some point, and then he left. Then he ended up in a dead bedroom forum. And I was like, what are you doing, dude? Like, get back in the pack. So he gets back in the pack. He was with us for a couple of months, and then he got pissed off at everyone in the group because he was falling into the same patterns, right? He started developing one-itis for this chick who wasn't giving him the time of day. And we're like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop doing that kind of stuff. And he didn't like what everyone had to say. So he got mad and left the pack again. I'm like, some dudes just like to, complicate their lives and justify why, right? Shout out to Rich Cooper for that saying. Anyway, I found this guy here on Reddit. I dropped the link there in the chat. He says, please help me with an advice. Please help me with an advice. I guess he wants some advice. He says, I've been in a relationship with my girlfriend for a year and 3 months. He's 30 years old. She's 27 years old. The dynamic of our relationship looks like this. We spend almost all our time together. We both work from home, watch movies and TV series, and generally stay indoors a lot. Lately, I feel quite bored with how my life is going right now, and I assume she might feel the same. I'm a more dynamic person who enjoys going out often, while she's more reserved in that sense. Although when she gets bored, the initiative to go out sometimes comes from her as well. Well, this is a big problem with long-term relationships, right? You develop a routine, and routines become monotonous and boring. It's one of the things that I have to coach guys on who are in dead bedroom situations typically, but that's because the man's allowed that to happen, right? And we often say in the space that you could be anything to a woman, but you can't be boring. But just like everything else in the space, it's more of a rule of thumb than a guideline, because the truth is there's a lot of boring women out there too. Okay. Or maybe I should just say, women who are content and not doing a lot of stuff, because I'd say Nurse Chick, right? Nurse Chick isn't boring, but she would probably be fine not going out and doing a whole lot of stuff. In fact, if we just stayed in all day, naked, eating snacks and watching movies and banging, like that would be a perfect weekend for Nurse Chick, right? Like she would be totally okay, right? But since I know that relationships can get stagnant if you don't go out and do fun stuff, it's my job as the man to set the tone and lead the relationship. And so I sometimes have to make an effort on that front, right? I have to make plans and find fun stuff for us to do. If I don't, we probably would just sit around all the time and everyone would just be this boring, routine life. And that kind of stuff leads to dead bedrooms. Okay. He says, recently, we also went through a financially stressful period because we're moving from a rental into an apartment that I bought and recently renovated. It involved a lot of stress, work, and money on my side. She helped me choose tiles, flooring, furniture, and also helped with cleaning, which I truly appreciate. Okay. After this period, I feel pretty burnt out. And for the past 1 or 2 months, I've almost completely stopped wanting sex. There haven't been any direct advances from her. I think she expects me to initiate, as I usually do, but I find it hard to get out of this mental state. I don't really feel sexual attraction or desire at the moment. I'd rather stay on the PC or sit on the couch with her watching something. It sounds like it sounds almost like this guy's depressed and he's like just escapism seems more fun to him than connection, right? But I'll tell you what, man, like if for guys over 40, if they stop wanting sex, it's usually one of a couple of things, right? Like their wife got fat or unattractive, or fat and unattractive, right? And or she's a nagging, insufferable. We're not at the 8-minute mark. Bish, right? Or the guy has low testosterone, right? Like if a guy has low testosterone, usually his sex drive suffers from that, right? And then he doesn't want to have sex. The idea of initiating sounds like work, you know what I mean? Like, but when you're 20 years old and like just the slightest breeze comes by and you get an erection, like you want to bang all the time. Like you're like, oh hell yeah. You don't need to be motivated to do that. You just want to do that sort of thing, right? But when guys get a little bit older, their T levels tend to drop, especially now in 2026. It's super common for guys to have low T. But this guy's only 30, right? I'd be surprised if you have low testosterone at 30, but depending on your diet, your activity level, that might be something worth checking. I mean, if all you do is play video games, watch TV, and you never go out, I'm willing to bet that you're a fat shit. I'm willing to bet that you're a fat shit guy who doesn't exercise, and your T levels might be off, right? But you don't necessarily need, TRT at your age. You just need to get off your ass and go to the gym and start working out and stop being a lazy bastard that plays video games all day in your house. You feel me, dog? You feel me? I don't know. He says that, I have in my notes here, like you said, you work from home and stay in a lot. I didn't see working out in your list there. So that's probably a part of your problem. He says, even before this period, we had some issues related to sex. It was quite rare and felt mechanical. Sexually, we were never very compatible. I try to create moments of intimacy, but I often feel that the initiative doesn't come from her. If a woman's into you, right? Like this should be telling you everything you need to know, right? Like if she's not enthusiastic about it, if she's just sort of like, she's just like, okay, I guess we can do it, right? Like it's a chore. She's not into you, bro, right? And you moved her in with you. That's crazy. Anyway, he goes, I try to create moments of intimacy, but I often feel that the initiative doesn't come from her. And at the same time, she wants to try new things in different positions. See, so she at least, sex is probably boring as fuck for her. It's boring as shit. And you're just trying to do missionary all the time. And she's like, let's spice it up. Like, at least put me in doggy position or something. And you're like, oh, God, doggy position is so much work. He goes, but for me, that sometimes removes the feeling of intimacy and sensuality. See, that's the thing here. He's looking to make love. He's trying to be a nice guy. He's trying to have feelings of intimacy and sensuality. Women just want to get fucked. Dude, you know what I mean? Like a lot of guys think that this is what women want. They think that men need to, women want men to make love to them. They want a connection. No, like read Nancy Friday's book. I swear to God, guys, I say it a lot in the podcast. Read Nancy Friday's book. There's a reason why 50 Shades of Grey sold millions of copies. Okay. Your girl does not want for you to make love to her and have this intimacy and sensual experience. She wants to be fucking railed. Okay. This is why women cheat on nice guys and go out with the fuck boys, because the fuck boys fuck. Okay. Anyway, AI is going to clip that one. So he goes, what can I do here? What can I do? And you know what's funny is I was like, this is the craziest post for a dead bedroom forum, because usually people in dead bedroom forums have real problems, right? They have serious problems. This guy's not married. He's 30 years old. He's only been with this chick for for a little over a year. The fuck are you doing? Like, why are you in a dead bedroom forum? Just dump this bitch, right? Dump that bitch, right? Anyway, so I got here. I wrote out a whole bunch of notes for this, guys. I said, you've only been in a relationship for a year and 3 months, and you're already living together and doing renovations together. That's wild. That's wild. Okay. But I got to understand too, not everybody's red pilled yet, right? A lot of guys still are idealists. They're always trying to move chicks in with them and stuff like that. We got a guy in Wolfpack who got into a relationship last year early sometime and was like within a month of dating this chick was already like thinking about moving her in and stuff. We're like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, there's this thing called the honeymoon phase, right? And it lasts about 6 months to a year of a relationship. You don't even know who this bitch is for the first 6 months to a year. And you're moving these chicks in and doing renovations with them. Like, what are you doing? This is how guys end up ruining their fucking lives, you know? Anyway, he says, even before basically losing all physical attraction. Oh, he said this. These are my notes. So even before basically losing all physical attraction for her, sex with her was mechanical and not compatible, right? Like, why are you with this chick? It doesn't get better. And you know, I've seen that. I've coached guys like this too, especially like religious guys, like Christian guys who find themselves in dead bedroom situations, and then they reach out to me for one-on-one counseling. A lot of those guys, the sex when they were dating their wives wasn't very good at all, and then they thought putting a ring on it was going to fix it. Like, putting a ring on a girl's finger doesn't fix anything. Just, you know, guys, there is nothing that putting a ring on a woman's finger fixes. Okay, it fucking doesn't. Especially if sex sucks now. Oh, but you can train her. You can train her to a point. Okay, to a point. You can't possibly. All right. But this guy's been with her for a year and 3 months, and he still hasn't been able to train her. And it sounds like he's the boring guy when it comes to sex anyway. So that's a problem. As I have here, so many of you guys get one-itis and commit to these chicks you don't even like, and then you turn to forums asking strangers what you should do. You know what I mean? Like, I had a 3% brother a couple of years ago, and I talked about him a lot in the podcast. He's actually been on the podcast before, right? He was with this, and he's still with this chick, but he was with this chick for a long time, and she was just like the most filthiest, dirtiest, filthiest sexual woman he's ever been with, I think. And he loved it because he's just a high sex drive guy, and they were banging all the time and just having crazy monkey sex all the time. And so he ends up moving her in. This is after several years, though. So at least that, you know, he was making a calculated risk there. Moves this chick in. And when he moved her in, it became apparent that she had alcohol problems. And so that became an issue, and he decides to kick her out. Well, she decides, oh shit, I have nowhere where to go. He's kicking me out. I'm going to call the cops and say that he hit me. So he ended up in jail for domestic violence. He had to deal with that. He had to like go through the court process to get her evicted, to even get her out of his house. And then he was like, oh, yeah, we're done and all this kind of stuff. And he couldn't be alone. He's one of those guys, could be alone. He immediately gets into a relationship with a chick who just wasn't that into him. So she didn't have as much, you know, genuine burning desire to want to have sex all the time like the previous chick. And that was frustrating him. And I was like, why are you with her? And why are you exclusive with her already? You just broke up with this other chick. Like, just dump this chick, dude. Just dump her and find a better chick. Like, what are you doing? Right. And so he ends up dumping her, and then he ends up getting back with the crazy ass chick. I'm like, dude, man, Like Rich Cooper says, men like to complicate their lives and justify why, right? But going back to this guy, I think like, I don't think he's watching this. I did comment on the post saying I'm going to talk about this on my podcast, though. And he's probably, if he does watch, he's probably going to be pissed at what I'm telling him, but he needs to hear this shit, right? Like, most guys aren't hearing this kind of shit. They're hearing feel good shit. Like, oh, I mean, maybe just give her some time. And I was like, no, it's not going to work out. Okay. I think you know what you need to do. You need to break things off with this girl. You holding on to her, it's not fair to either of you. It's not. Okay. You both deserve to be in relationships where you're enthusiastic about having sex with each other. And if that's not happening, especially for you as the guy, you're simply with the wrong person, and you both need to go find someone you're more compatible with. Okay. It's as simple as that. You also need to stop moving these chicks in with you, guys. For fuck's sake, stop moving these chicks in with you, right? Moving chicks in might save on rent and utilities, but at what cost? Okay. It makes breaking up infinitely more difficult. All right. If things don't work out, it makes breaking up infinitely more difficult. And if you're in a state like Colorado, which is a common law state, if you move a chick in with you and you're together long enough, she could come after you for like alimony and all this kind of shit because you're now common law married. Okay. So be careful with this shit, guys. Okay. You could do what Aaron Clary does, which is he's been with the same girl for 20 years, which you wouldn't even realize because, Clary's like king of the MGTOWs, right? He wrote the MGTOW Bible. What was it? Not the menu. It was, oh God, what was it? It was the return on investment of the pursuit of chicks. Which one was that one? Anyway, one of Clary's like dozen books, and it's literally the MGTOW Bible. It talks about why the return on investment in pursuing women is like not worth your time and effort. It's like, guys, Clary is a total pimp, right? Like, I've hung out with Clary. I've hung out with his gal. Clary knows how to dance. He'll take her to places and just like, he'll grab her hand and lead her through like a total boss, right? Clary's a fucking pimp. Don't let him fool you. But he charges his girl rent, right? He's not married to her, and she lives with him at his house for half the year, and then he lives with her in her house half the year. And I think they charge each other rent so that they can't ever go after each other for shit like that. It's fucking genius, actually. But guys, I also want you guys to remember Iron Rule of Tomasi number 4. It's one that we don't talk about a lot in this space. I talk about Iron Rule of Tomasi number 7 all the time because of my breakup book, like Forget That Bitch, right? I have a book for breakups, Forget That Bitch. And it's largely based off Iron Rule of Tomasi number 7, right? Well, Iron Rule of Tomasi number 4 is just as important for you guys, okay? Never, under any circumstance, live with a woman you aren't married to or are not planning to marry within 6 months, okay? That's Iron Rule of Tomasi number 4. So if you're not planning on marrying this chick within 6 months or you're not already married to her, do not fucking move them in with you, okay? These iron rules are there to keep you out of trouble and to make you guys, give you guys something to think about so you don't make stupid fucking decisions. Okay. And when you do dump this bitch and go find a better woman, stop expecting women to initiate. Okay. That's a big problem that lands guys in dead bedrooms too, is because they're expecting their wife to initiate sex because they want to feel loved too. I want to feel desired. I want her to initiate sex. Okay. Women are passive by nature. They expect men to initiate. They expect it. Okay. If you want more sex, initiate more sex. Okay. Initiate sex more. And you'll find that women, like when you get rid of the attachment of having her initiate and you're just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to get mine. I'm going to get mine. Right. You'll find that she'll initiate plenty when you do that and stop expecting her to initiate. Okay. And also, if sex is awkward and mechanical, you need to work on your skills in the bedroom, okay? Because men, it's not only your job to set the tone and lead the relationship, it's your job to set the tone and lead in the bedroom, okay? Normally, I'd recommend Eric Everhard's book, Unleash Your Sexual Superpowers, but it's out of print, right? But one of the things that Eric talks in there about is how You need to think of her like you're an artist and she's your canvas. What kind of art are you going to create when you absolutely ravage her in the bedroom? Like you need to move her around. You need to put her in the positions you like. You need to toss her around a little bit. You need to bend her like a pretzel. It's your time. Okay. Be more aggressive, grab her hair, talk dirty to her in her left ear, all that kind of shit. Okay. Unfortunately, like I said, Eric's book is out of print and it's a phenomenal book. If you guys are in Wolfpack, Eric gave us a private lecture years ago. It's pinned in the chat, in the main chat. If you scroll through all the pinned comments, there's like hundreds of them, right? But the actual video of it is saved in there. It's pinned for posterity. It's available for Wolfpack members. Also, a copy of his audiobook is available in there as well. And I don't think he would mind doing that because one, Eric and I are friends, and two, the publishing company that owned the rights to his book went under. So I made the audiobook available for the Wolfpack guys. That's available in the pin chat as well. But for the rest of you plebes that aren't the Wolfpack, you're in luck because I started working on my next book, my next official book, which is going to incorporate a lot of Eric's teachings. Also a lot of the sex god method. We're gonna sort of combine the two. And it's called Dick Her Down Right. And it will be out this summer if all goes well. But I'm working on that now. And that's my next official book, Dick Her Down Right. And so if sex is a problem for you, if it's boring and you don't know what you're doing in the bedroom, you're going to want to get a copy of that when it comes out this summer. Okay. But brother, you are too young to be in a dead bedroom forum. Okay. Life's too short. If you're with a chick that you're just not feeling it with, one, don't move them in with you. And two, dump them and find a better chick. Okay. This is why you guys need to be spinning plates and stop getting one-itis and moving every fucking chick in with you, man. I swear to God. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. But tune into the podcast tomorrow. We're going to be talking about transforming rejection into your dating superpower. So that should be a fun one for a lot of you guys out there who have a lot of anxiety over rejection and cold approach and all that kind of stuff. So tune into that 10 a.m. Eastern time. We have a few guys in the chat right here. So let me get to these before we cut this off. Brother David's in the house. He said, hey, everyone, here for the Bauer Power half hour power hour. Bauer Power the power half hour. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Eric Von Erich's here. Oh, also, Brother David with a $10 super chat said, read Paul's books 10 to 15 times. The stuff works. It did for me. Thank you, man. Yes, it's true. And this guy,
I was just going to say it. This guy fucks. Am I right?
Definitely fucks. He definitely fucks. He's definitely read the books 10 to 15 times. He's fixed his marriage. He's been on the podcast too, Brother David. He's kind of a legend in the Wolfpack. He says, you can't spend all your time with your gal. Attraction grows in space. Exactly. Yeah, that's a big problem for this guy too, right? They spend all their waking time together. They work from home. They never fucking leave. It's like you need to create artificial space in your relationship. If you're like in this situation, you need to create artificial space. Brother David here in the chat, he goes to cigar lounges all the time. In fact, he's what we refer to as a cigar whore. Okay. Actually, he refers to himself as that. So Kamal says, I'm sure you've seen some familiar faces in those dead bedrooms. Yeah. Snacks. Is that what she named hers? What are you talking about? What are you talking about there, John? Let's see here. Kamal also says a year is a bit early to move in together. My advice to the poster would be live separately. Yeah, for fuck's sakes. Yeah. Oh, hey, Chad Elkin, CPA in the house, guys. Tax season is now on, so time for me to binge on your streams. Hope all is well, Paul. Hey, man, I might be hitting you up. For I'm going to need help with my taxes here when I'm, because I'm doing this full time now, Chad. I stopped working for the man, and I'm doing this full time. And so I know you work with a lot of guys in the space and a lot of OnlyFans models, and so I'm doing the same thing. So I might be hitting you up here. I'm doing turbo. You'll probably hate this, but I'm going to do TurboTax this for last year's taxes, and then next year I'll probably be working with you. We'll see. Let's see here. Women love dominant men. Nancy's Friday's book was extremely eye-opening. It's a fucking filthy, disgusting book. Women are dirty. Women are nasty, guys. I nominate Nancy Friday's book to enter your holy trinity. Now that's definitely supplemental material, but you're right, David. It definitely changes your perspective on. That's absolutely true. You will never look at women the same. And then have you guys seen the meme of Belle and the Beast? And it says, this is a reminder that Belle was fully prepared to fuck the Beast as is. She had no idea he was going to turn into a human. And it's like, yeah, that's gross, but have you read Nancy Friday's book? Dale, hey, brother Dale's in the house. He says, got to date your girl and get out of the house. Yes, you do. Sounds like in his mind, he's got no other options. Well, see, that's why guys end up with one-itis, isn't it? They think they don't have any other options with women. And then the thing is that when you think you have no other options with women, you're putting that energy and vibration out to the universe. Well, your woman fucking feels that. And she goes, God, if no other woman wants to fuck this guy, why should I fuck this guy? And then she stops fucking you, right? Like, that's it. Yes. Book of Numbers. Thank you, John. The Book of Numbers is the MGTOW Bible. Aaron Clary wrote that shit several years ago. When I first met Aaron, that's the book that he had out and was promoting. And it's a goddamn good book, but it's pretty nihilistic. And it's all about why women aren't worth your time, and totally became the MGTOW Bible. All the MGTOW guys were clamoring about that book. And then I met Clary and hung out with him in person. I'm like, this fucking guy, he is such a pimp, man. He's got all you guys fooled. Don't listen to this guy. He talks about how he hates the women, but he's totally a pimp. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, I will, Chad. But yeah, I'm definitely I've been thinking about talking to you about this stuff. So I need to get more of my business better off the ground. And then once I get things a little more stable, then I'll definitely hit you up. JD Ambrose says, what's the name of Nancy Friday's book? It's called My Secret Garden. My Secret Garden. It's fucking gross, man. It's fucking, I got about halfway through that book and I was like, I get the point. I get it. Women are fucking gross. There's bestiality stuff in there. There's pedophilia type crap in there. Women have the most disgusting fucking fantasies. And the reason why these women even wrote in was because they were anonymous about it, right? Because women, they don't want to be judged. So once they knew that they could be anonymous about this stuff, they went off the fucking rails. It's a gross book. It's fucking gross. It's not even gross in a good way. Like, some of it is like, whoa, fuck. All right. No, I'm done. I'm done with you. Done with you, you harlots. You Jezebels. All right, guys, that's all I got. Remember, tomorrow we're going to be talking about transforming your rejection and anxiety into a superpower. So that should be a fun one. But that's all we got, guys. Tune into the podcast tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. We'll see you then.